Day 7 at the Engenhão, the Olympic Stadium for the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games Athletics. It's another hot one, 34 Celsius for this morning session. A little quieter than usual here in terms of what's coming up. And down in the track, it is 34, 29 in the shade. Blue skies in Rio de Janeiro this morning. Crowds milling in. It's the fourth last day of athletics action here. 6 finals, 2 in the track and 4 in the field. Lots of early round action. Women's 5,000 meters in the wheelchairs. Men's 1,500 meters T52 was due to be there as well. But in terms of finals, we've got some great finals. Women's 100 T35. That's Isis Holt of Australia, Maria Lyle of Great Britain, Oksana Corso of Italy going head-to-head. And the women's 400 T38. What a story. Karina Cox, who's won gold in the cycling here, going for an athletics gold as well. But the Asian champion is Chen Yunfei, the Pan Am champion Veronica Hipólito of Brazil. And we have 4 field finals as well.
Bom dia, and we have 2 heats coming up to kick proceedings off. We get over the longer trips this morning. The women's 5,000 meters T54 competition to get underway, but it is another beautiful sunny day. As you mentioned, 34 degrees trackside, but there's a zephyr of breeze, quite a nice breeze, so it's just making things very comfortable. So perfect conditions for track and field. Yes, looking forward to seeing the young star from Australia, Isis Holt, but she's got stiff opposition from the young star from Great Britain, a 16-year-old in Maria Lyle. And also a bit of an unknown quantity in that final, Zhou from China. We really don't know what to expect there. Plus plenty of great action in the field also. There's plenty of gold medals given away. All in all, we have 6 finals. Great to see the school kids in again. A part of the hashtag Fill the Seats campaign, and I'm sure they've all taken the Paralympic Games to their hearts, and we may see them on the track in years to come. Now, this is the field for the first of our track races. This is the women's 5,000 meters T54 category, and we see the 27-year-old world champion in this event in 2013, Czech Anna McFadden, gold medalist here in the 400 meters and also the 1,500 meters competing. Also a silver medalist in the 100 meters. So it is 12.5 laps as we see Aline Rocha from Brazil being introduced, the 25-year-old, as a PB just over the 12-minute mark. And over to Manuela Shire from Switzerland. 3 Paralympic medals to her name, marathon winner back in 2013 at the World Championships. And Tatjana McFadden being introduced now. So 14 in total go in these 2 rounds of the women's 5,000 meters. 6 automatically go through, so first, second and third, then the next best 4. So we're eliminating 4. And away they go. So we have 12.5 laps. Big cheer from the crowd as Aline Rocha gets underway out wide on the track and is going to ease out of the early speed battle as they come into the straight, into the blazing sun in the early stages. And just like her shorter races, McFadden has blazed off into the lead from in second place. We see from Australia Christy Dawes, the 36-year-old from Newcastle in New South Wales. And then in third is Van der Broek from Netherlands. And then right behind her in her slipstream is Zhou from Switzerland, and then Ma Jing from China, as they race in single file down the back and complete a lap. And at this stage, Rocker is last and trailing Jade Jones of Great Britain. So that's the order. And McFadden just comes back to the field after completing a lap. From in second place, Dawes, and then in third is Van der Broek from Netherlands, coming to the home corner on the second occasion. And at this stage, all of the athletes looking comfortable into the home running. Remembering the first three go through in each heat. The next four fastest advance are eliminating four effectively, as McFadden now needs some assistance. And driving through is Dawes to take it up from Van der Broek. And then it is Zhou from Switzerland in third, and McFadden's going to ease back towards the end of the field as the Brazilian now passes her.
Yeah, McFadden's work is done for the time being. 12.5 laps of the track. Christy Dawes taking it out front straight away. Gold in the 4x1 and the 4x4 back in the 1998 World Championships in Birmingham. Those the global goals to her name. But bronze in this 5,000 metres in 2012 in London, where the title was taken by Edith Wolff of Switzerland, who's now retired. McFadden with those two golds here so far, the 400 and the 1500 last night, leading the America 1-2-3. Silver in the first as well. Margaret Van den Broek taking it up, who so far has finished 8th in the 100 metres here, going out in the semi-finals of the 4 and the 15. But other World Championships, very effective. Bronze in the 4 and the 8. And at the previous Europeans, silver in the 100 metres, that in Swansea, but they didn't compete in this year's European Championships in Grosseto. But what a Shire in second place, yet to get a medal here at these Paralympic Games, which she's come close, 4th in the 15, blocked out by the Americans last night, 5th in the 400 metres, 3rd place for China's Ma Jing. Not a lot of energy being expended so far. Van den Broek's done a job with the front. It's like the Tour de France peloton. Little ride at the top and then you make way. So Van den Broek has done her bit for now. Shah takes it up with second place Ma Jing of China. In her first major championship, she's done quite well. 6th in the 400 metres, 7th in the 15. McFadden now beginning to move up a little bit on the outside. And at the back of affairs is Christy Dawes of Australia, but no alarm for anybody yet, and we've got 9 laps to go.
So the leader, it's Shire from Ma, then Jones, Rocker, McFadden, Van der Broek, Dawes. Heading to the back section and just trying to accelerate a little in this next lap is Shire. Out clear from Ma in second place. And then Jones, who's had a pretty comfortable trip at the moment, in third place. Jade Jones with a personal best of 11:16.02. We haven't seen the likes of that from her this season. She's about 3 seconds what we've seen in the last 12 months or so. And then it's Rocker, who's tucked away, 4th on the inside. As at this stage now, so wanting a rest at the head of affairs, and Dawes wants to track up into it, but has got into the wrong slipstream there because Shire's looking to decelerate for the time being. So as they go past the judge, and there is 8 laps to go, it is Ma the leader from Jones, who's tracked into it nicely. Rocher gets to third on the inside, and Dawes has been shuffled back here tactically by on the outside Shire, who's dragged her back to second last place, equals second last place. And watching all of that unfold was McFadden, who just eased into 4th position, and Van der Broek goes back to the end of the field. So Ma leads, but is looking for a bit of a rest. Jones is going to track her, though, and won't let her. And now, as a result, getting right up along the inside is McFadden. So she's going to take it up and now surge. So just like she did at the start, at the same part of the track, she's going to race away. And it's McFadden in front by about 20 metres all of a sudden. And she's going to try and break them up. Now, she's going to try and catch them napping here and sustain a bit of a margin. As they come down the straight, it's McFadden leading. Now, in this main group, It is in second place, Shire, then Dawes, Ma, Van der Broek, Jones on the outside of Rocha, and there's 7 laps to go.
Ma Jing and Jay Jones had just made way, and they were expecting Aline Rocha to take it up from there, but it's the first major championship. The girl from Sao Paulo, and McFadden just behind her, tucked on the inside and said, well, fine, if you don't want to go, I definitely will. It's the top 3 who go through, and McFadden definitely has broken the rest of the field here. The lead is around 75, 80 metres. So it's a real battle for the other 2 qualifying spots. There's still 7 laps to go the next time McFadden goes round. Well, it's going to be 6, actually. So I think she's going to slow down a bit. She's expecting them to accelerate a little bit and to have a bit more fatigue. 34 Celsius at the moment. She passes the temperature gauge. McFadden holding up the strong advantage, and I think she's happy enough to keep things as they are. 6 laps to go for her, a 54.6 second lap, and the rest are way back. McFadden comfortably out on her own, and she may well choose to stay there. The rest now with 6 to go. Van der Broek in ahead of Aline Rocha. Jay Jones back in 4th place. Shah in 5th, 6th for Australia. That's Christy Dawes. And right at the back of the field then is trying to make things work for her, Ma Jing. It's her first major championship as well. And McFadden's decided to push on a bit further, make a bit of a time trial of it. Now they're really jostling into position. The cheers for Aline Rocha. She moves up into 2nd place for Brazil. But remember, it's the first 3 who go through, and the next 4 fastest overall. McFadden freewheeling not very much, actually, but she has slowed down slightly, and the gap now is even greater. 56-second lap, we've got 5 to go.
So it'll be interesting to see what time she can clock here. She's about 10 seconds off the pace this season from the best she's produced in her lifetime. Now, Shea has been able to get up on the inside for Switzerland again. Dawes has tracked her through to 3rd. But at this stage, we're concentrating on McFadden, who is out on her own. And with this big advantage now, she would lead by about 80 metres. And there is the rest of the field down the back straight. So at the moment, it's Shire trying to steal a march now over Dawes, and is doing so. So now she is breaking up the main part of the group. So as we watch McFadden come down the straight, she comes down the straight solo. You'll see in the background the rest of the field shortly. But McFadden goes over the line with 4 laps to go. Now Shire is out on her own now in 2nd position, and she would lead that group by about 10 or 15 metres, importantly, from Ma, and then a gap to Dawes, Jones, Rocha and Van der Broek. So the main group has been broken up. There you see it. That was now passing the screen, Dawes, with also Jones, Rocha and Van der Broek now in camera shot. But down the back section, and McFadden out on her lonesome, and has the ability at the end of this race now to switch off if she really wants to, because she's at the head of affairs. And there's Shire just letting the others do some work. She comes back to that main group, and they're going to try and develop that into a sprint to the line, remembering the first 3 automatically qualify. Shire, Ma, Dawes, Jones, Rocha and Van der Broek now in single file in that 2nd group, chasing McFadden with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, McFadden's lead has been drawn in slightly. A couple of laps ago, she was a clear 100 metres ahead, but now it's down to 80. Shah in 2nd place. Now it's Ma Jing in 3rd. Then a bit of a gap as the rest come through, is in 4th. Leading that pack of 4 at the back is Christy Dawes. And right at the back of affairs is Margaret van den Broek of the Netherlands. But McFadden really chose the right time to go. Accelerated massively. The rest didn't really want to go with it. And this is where she stakes the claim and says, well, if you want to beat me, you'll have to work very hard, because I can do this even in a semi-final. Can you? And there's been no real willingness for the rest to go with it. You'll see Shah coming into shot very soon. There's been a real break right at the head of affairs behind McFadden. Shah in 2nd, Ma in 3rd. It's around 60 metres. You'll see now this is Shah coming through in 2nd place. Around 50 metres clear of Ma in 3rd. McFadden in turn is another 50, 60 metres ahead of Shah in 2nd place. And now the rest really are struggling. It's Jones, Dawes, Russia and Vandenbroek are well behind, and it's hard to see how they're going to be able to find in the final 800 meters the additional 50 to catch up with Ma, unless she really has a problem. And McFadden, a massive point to prove to the rest of this field and to those in the second semi-final coming up, just about in what form she feels in this 5,000 meters in Rio. She looks uncatchable and unbeatable in this semi-final. And in the final two, as McFadden takes the bell, Zhou well back in second place, Manning well back in third, but the rest are a long, long way back.
We know McFadden's capable of finishing just over the 11-minute mark. It's not going to be like that here, but it's a terrific pipe opener for her. And leads by about 50 metres, and to her credit, Shire has been able to whittle that margin down slightly, and then a similar gap to Ma from China, and then the race for fourth is between the other four, and that is led by Jones from Dawes, Roger, Vandenbroek. But coming around the turn, Paralympic record is 11:59.51 to our reckoning here, and let's see, McFadden, she's going to give it a nudge, she's going to annihilate it. What a terrific statement she makes here. 11:47.38 beats the Paralympic record by 12 seconds that was set by Wakako Yoshida in Athens. Now coming through in second is Shida, who just was outside the old world record mark, and Ma's going to come through, so they automatically qualify. McFadden, Shire and Ma. Now the race for fourth. Dawes being challenged by Roger late. Dawes from Australia fourth, Roger Brazil fifth, Vandenbroek Netherlands sixth, and it was Jones Great Britain in seventh place, but goes in as one of the favourites in the final. Paralympic record, Tatiana McFadden.
It wasn't very tight, was it? Tatiana McFadden shooting away with a couple of laps gone, about 5 laps of the 12.5. And from there it was very much a time trial for the great American. Already here with her 2 gold medals, 5 Paralympic golds overall. And the Paralympic record, she took 12 seconds of it. It was 12 years old, set in Athens. And McFadden from there, well, it could have been the case of her going for a lap, then easing up, letting the rest catch up, them being broken women. But instead, McFadden broke away, and the rest were just well behind. It was a huge winning margin in the end in this semi-final, and that was designed to make the rest tremble. A 13-second winning margin. Margin will go through as well. It is the next 4 after the top 3 will go through as fast as losers, and Christy Dawes at the moment is in that pole position. But Tatiana McFadden, an astonishing performance. But it's just a case really of her flexing her muscles in this semi-final. The rest have a lot to fear, and she, of course, is the one to beat. Paralympic record, so Wakako Yoshida, she had a good run of a dozen years. But McFadden is the new Paralympic record holder. 11:47.37. Zhou and Ma Jing are also through, and as for the rest, they'll have to bide their time. One more heat to come.
Now some action in the field coming up shortly. We've got men's and women's shot put, starting off with the men's shot put F53 final. And in this field we have 10 competitors. And the Paralympic record and world record set in Beijing of 8.72 by Mauro Maximo de Jesus from Mexico. And he isn't here, but we see from Mexico Eric Ortiz Monroy. And on screen from Czech Republic is Aleš Kiši. That is from the USA. Scott Severn, a 48-year-old with a personal best of 8:43, has thrown about half a metre shorter than that this year. And from Japan, Toshi Oi. 0.26 this season, less than the best he's thrown, which is 6 metres 60. A real man to beat here will be Elish Kishi from Czech Republic, and also Shejon Fernandez from Greece. There is on screen Hussam Azam, his personal best 7:20. Haven't seen him throw this season, the 40-year-old. That was Prešakan on screen from Croatia. So we will monitor that, the men's shot put F53 final. We now move on to the women's 5,000 metres T54 category, heat 2.
Yes, the world champion goes in this, Zhou Lihong of China. Amanda McGrory, the former Paralympic and world champion who won silver last night in the 1,500 metres. This is Maria de Fatima Fonseca Chavez of Brazil. Semi-finalist in the 15, it's her first major championship. Diane Roy crossed the line first in 08, won the gold, but the race was rerun. Ended up being a silver for her, but she has been a Commonwealth Games champion for Canada. McGrory with a great success last night. Madison de Rosario, the 800 metres world champion for China there. That's Zhou Lihong, who's the reigning world champion over 8 and 5, and also in the 4x4. Chelsea McClammer, silver in the 4, bronze in the 15 here in Rio so far. Paralympic champion over 400 and 800. And Gunilla Wallengren, silvers in the 4, the 8 and the 5. Bronze in the 1,500 metres at the European Championships in Grosseto. And we are underway in this women's 5,000 metres T54. They'll have watched and observed what Tatjana McFadden did in that first heat. We'll be very surprised if we have a repeat of that here. It's Wallengren, McClammer, Zhou, de Rosario, McGrory, Roy, and Fonseca Chavez. It's the top 3 who will go through to the final, and the next 4 fastest overall. And Gunilla Wallengren, you may just remember, she was the athlete who was in the centre of quite a finish of the European final of this in Grosseto. 3 going for the line, Wallengren, and then 2 from Russia, Kocherova and Abdikaramova. And Abdikaramova gave Wallengren a massive push to the side with her hand in the final lap. Abdikaramova finished second, was disqualified. Kocherova won. Wallengren upgraded to the silver. They decided against the rerun of that, but it would have been interesting what would have happened if we'd a proper race all the way through in the final 70 metres or so. Well, Wallengren has had a very profitable summer so far. And can she follow that here for Switzerland, having had silver in the 1,500 metres in the World Championships last year in Doha, but finished 10th here. So the pace being set at the moment, the United States, McClammer and McGrory doing as well here as they did in that 1,500 metres final last night. And in 3rd place, Madison de Rosario. For Australia, 11 laps to go.
So McGrory leads but eases to the outside. McClammer takes her. De Rosario is in 3rd position. As they head to the back, Wallengren sits in 4th at this stage, and then it is the Brazilian Fonseca Chavez. In 2nd last, Zhou Lihong for the time being, as they go back to single file formation. And at the end is Diane Roy at this stage with her personal best 11:16.96, but she's nowhere near that at the moment this season as they come towards the home turn. On the next occasion, McClammer, McGrory, De Rosario, and then in 4th place we see Wallengren. This event so much more her cup of tea than we've seen her competing in so far. And then it's Fonseca Chavez. Thinking about a move here is Zhou Lihong from China, just at the moment halfway out of that inside lane and being tracked all the while by Roy as they go to the back section. And the Americans just dictating here with leading out McGrory, McClammer on the outside, just keeping De Rosario in her pocket, keeping her where she wants her at the moment. Now she's just going to ease back and work out a position from there on the outside of Wollongren. Fonseca Chavez, and then in second last is Zhou, and Roy thinking about a maneuver from Canada, thought about it and tucks herself back in. So down the straight they come. McGrory holds the way in front of Di Rosario, the 22-year-old from Australia, and McClammer third.
9 laps to go. McGrory taking them out at the moment with Di Rosario in second place and McClammer in third. McClammer with that bronze last night. McGrory with the silver, led over the line by Tatjana McFadden. And obviously, if those two make it again into the 5,000 meters final, team tactics, certainly from the United States point of view, can come into it again. Two Americans just pushing to the side for the moment. Madison Di Rosario, the 800 meters world champion, who's a T53, by the way, racing here among the T54s. That brilliant sprint finish in Doha as she claimed her first global gold out of Sydney, trained by Louise Sauvage. Pace has settled down, really. Di Rosario having a turn out the front for Australia. A little bit of movement just coming on the outside. Liu Zhihong is tucked at the back, and so too for Brazil, Maria Fonseca Chavez, who will get a nice bit of support here. Good cheers for the other Brazilian, Helena Rocha, in the previous semi-final prior to this, when she was leading the main chasing pack from 4th to 7th. Di Rosario's done her turn at the front. A little bit of movement up by Chelsea McClammer. But obviously, if these two, McClammer and McGrory, you'll note when they were going on the line that there was no challenge for the gold. If it was a different nationality, I think they'd have pushed on a bit further, but once they'd locked into the top three, they'd got into their positions, crossed over the line. I don't think either would have wished to have bitten the hand that fed them. Manuela Shah was in 4th place, and what was a really interesting final, and the United States getting a clean sweep. And that obviously would be the big intention for them for the final. And look at this. We've got 7 laps to go, and in the lead for the United States, Chelsea McClammer, with McGrory, the USA, in 2nd place, and Di Rosario 3rd.
And they're pacing it out well, the Americans. 58.19 was the preceding lap, 57.8 on that occasion. So McGrory from McClammer, and then 3rd the inside, Di Rosario, who's been right up there on the premises from the start. And then it's Roy, Wollongren, and the hopes are high from the Brazilian crowd. Fonseca Chavez tracking the right person in Wollongren, hoping to bring her into the race. And at the end is Zhou, who's just biding her time. And I'm sure the Americans are wary of her at the end of the field. So as they come into the straight, 57.8 that previous lap. Interesting to see what McGrory produces here. It's going to be about on par. Di Rosario tracks through into 2nd place. Now McClammer's going to take a breather. 3rd the inside. They've gone a bit quicker, 55.59, and that's interesting. McGrory's just going to ease off and let Di Rosario do some work for the first time in the race. Roy watching this all unfold from Canada, 4th the inside. Wollongren has had a sweet run in transit as well, 5th the inside. And now just thinking about a move is Zhou. Might not be the right time. Just trying to keep McGrory one off the inside line. Still sits in last, and capitalizing is Fonseca Chavez through to 5th. So as they come into the straight, it is McGrory leading from in 2nd place, McClammer. Di Rosario is right up there as well, and towards the end, Zhou, who hasn't spent a penny at this stage. Di Rosario leads. Yeah, 5 laps to go. Madison Di Rosario had her spell at the front again. Very much a different race. A lot of teamwork going in between everybody here. After you, Claude. McClammer and McGrory, though, on each other's tail. McClammer leading with McGrory just behind. Di Rosario's just tucked in behind them for the time being. Wollongren's had a pretty good run with that. She's not wearing the Swiss colours apart from the helmet. She's got the yellow helmet. She's in 3rd place at the moment. Moving into 4th for Brazil, Fonseca Chavez. The crowd appreciating that. That's pretty much the highest she's been at this advanced stage of the race. 5th is Di Rosario now. 6th just moved back, Diane Roy. And for China, the back marker right now is
Zhou Hong. The real racing hasn't started yet. As they come down the closing straight, we've got 4 laps to go. Things will really accelerate in the final 1,000 meters or so. United States still largely controlling this race as it is. McGrory and McClammer. Finally has made a little bit of a move up. De Rosario stuck herself into the back, but no real worry about where she's placed at the moment. Looks like McClammer's made the move on the outside, and now we've got a little bit of acceleration coming from Chelsea McClammer. She's decided to put the hammer down. Diane Roy falling back into the 3rd place now. As for China, Zhou Hong gets into position. And now those in the back have decided time to let's go. That includes Madison de Rosario, who's moved up into the 3rd place. A very strong finisher, as we saw from that World Championship 800 meters final last October in Qatar. The Americans have been broken up for now. McGrory not quite lost in the pack, but it's McClammer who leads them ahead of Zhou of China, de Rosario of Australia. And in 4th place for the United States is McGrory with 3 to go.
Well, that really set them alight. A 53.84 lap going into the back. So McClammer has broken them up, but now goes down the back section with Zhou immediately onto her back. De Rosario, who was initially shuffled back in the previous lap, gets to 3rd. And then in 4th, it is McGrory. And then in that group of 5 is Roy, and the other 2 seem to be struggling towards the back of the field, Fonseca Chavez and Wollongren. And they are going stride for stride at the moment, fighting out 6th position. So coming into the straight with just over 2 laps to go. Going to the lead now, it is McGrory, De Rosario behind her, McClammer the outside, and then in 4th place is Zhou. You get the impression Zhou has had the sweet trip in transit with 2 laps to go. That next time, that next lap, 400-meter lap, 55.18, so they just took the foot off the acceleration a little bit on that occasion, just to conserve their energy here for the last lap and a half or so. So it's McGrory, McClammer, De Rosario and Zhou. So the race will be interesting with a group of 4 because the first 3 automatically qualify. Then it's the next 4 fastest. So you don't really want to be in the clubhouse and just wait. So I'm sure they've all got that in their mind as they come around the turn, also trying to conserve a little bit at the same time. So it's McGrory, McClammer, De Rosario tucked in on the inside. That could be a dangerous position in the last lap, and Zhou knows that. She has the Australian where she wants her at the moment, pocketed. So that second last lap, 56.02, and they're about to wind it up as they get the bell.
McGrory, McClammer, De Rosario and Zhou, 4 fighting out 3 automatic places. Back in 5th place is Diane Roy. 12:17.83 is the target. The 4th fastest loser at the moment is Jade Jones, but it's the 2 Americans who dictate it. Amanda McGrory was back in the pack a little bit when that acceleration happened, but she had her teammate in Chelsea McClammer at the front to help control things a little bit. USA 1 and 2. The big battle now really is obviously to see who's going to be in 4th place. It's Zhou and De Rosario up with McClammer and McGrory. Here's the final bend. And on the inside, Amanda McGrory for the United States. Outside, Chelsea McClammer. McClammer with a little bit of push-up. Zhou's going to go up in 3rd. They're all going to go through, by the way. The time's very quick for De Rosario. She'll have realised that. It's McClammer, McGrory, Zhou, and De Rosario. Top 3 automatic. De Rosario is the fastest loser. So will be Diane Roy in 5th with 11:59 and some change. And I'll tell you, 6th and 7th, I think, will go through as well. 12:15 was Shah. That's how it's going to be. Wollongren and Fonseca Chavez are going to go through also. And despite the fact that we had that incredible time early on from Tatjana McFadden, the rest were a good bit back. McClammer 11:49.25, 2 seconds thereabouts slower than McFadden's winning time in the other heat, but everybody in that heat worked that very well. Good work, Chelsea McClammer. To Rosario with a bit of congratulation as she crosses the line. Lifetime best for Zhou as well, but they've all made it.
So there's an earlier manoeuvre there where McGrory went through, tracked by De Rosario. And you're quite right, will De Rosario not panicking in that final lap, knowing she would go through as they come into the straight on the last occasion here. McClammer on the outside of McGrory, Zhou on the outside of De Rosario, who was just able to conserve there in 4th place. In fact, they were all really well and truly comfortable. And for the honours of taking out the semi-final, on the outside it was Chelsea McClammer. From in 2nd place, Amanda McGrory. So that US domination could continue when we reach the final of the 5,000 metres, with also McFadden involved. Well, they trifected the 1,500, and there's no reason why they can't do it again in the longer distance race. And let's see, first of all, how they all qualify. So McClammer, McGrory all there. Yes, they all will go through. Zhou, De Rosario, Roy, Wollongren, Fonseca, Chavez.
11:49.25, the winning time for Chelsea McClammer. Taking it, McGrory 2nd, Zhou in 3rd. Had said that Shah had been the fastest loser from the other heat, but she had obviously finished 3rd, so a big Q for her. No Qs for anybody from the opening heat. McFadden Paralympic record 11:47.37. The 3 fastest times, all from the United States, 2 from China, 1 from every other nationality. And if they want to break up the Americans, I think the other 7 really are going to have to work as a team themselves in the final. How interesting is that going to be?
Women's shot put F12 category here, so we have 2 shot put competitions going on either side of the stadium at this stage, and about to be introduced to the stadium as well. You can see there a couple of different class records for the F11 and F12 category. Real danger will be Sofia Burkanova here from Uzbekistan, the 26-year-old, the F12 classification. Her best throw, 13.25, lifetime best. And also from Italy, Assunta Legnante has got over the 17-metre mark previously. Assunta Legnante, but we have quite a large field. We have 12 competitors. Legnante also competing in the discus, just outside the medals there in 4th place, but she is the defending Paralympic champion, winning in London. We'll be keeping a close eye on this competition. Also running concurrently with the men's shot put F53 classification. And there is on screen Zhang Liangmin. She can throw a lot better than she has this season. 10.6, her most recent season's best, but can get up around the 12.29 mark. This is her 2nd attempt. Her first was 10 metres 40. 10 metres 40, her first attempt. And we'll get confirmation of this 2nd attempt in a moment, if it's legal. Well, she looks delighted. 10.59, but that's just inside her season's best, with plenty more water to flow under the bridge in that shot put competition. Zhang in the F11 classification.
Rose Wallapa for France. Getting into position in this women's shot put F12 final. First attempt, 10.58. Also going in the women's 100 metres. Best result, 8th in London 2012. That was in the javelin. A regular Major championship finalist, though, all the same. Wolepa, who got bronze in this shot at the European Championships in Grosseto. 10:26 is not an improvement, though. She's from New Caledonia, by the way.
Now the next athlete, Rebecca Valenzuela Alvarez from Mexico. 12:81 was her first attempt, and that sat her in third position. Can she consolidate here? Leader in the competition, Sunda Lugdonde, the favourite going in, and that's very close to a Paralympic record. That's a terrific throw from Valenzuela Alvarez. So already achieving her lifetime best in this competition early on. She's still a little bit frustrated with her technique, having a chat to herself. 12:72, so having a good competition in her category.
Talakai of Tonga, 7:21 in the opening round. There's a mix of F11s and F12s in this, the 12s being medium visual impairment and the F11's total visual impairment. Sunta Nyante is an F11. She, our leader. It may be a dual category event, but it's throwing and vision involved, so we're going on distances all the way. Burkanova doing very well with her throw, a world record for Uzbekistan. That has her in second place. She's a T12, Lenante in 11, 14:87. Burkanova is currently just about half a metre behind the lead. Lenante's world record huge, 17:32, huge by comparison. Top 8 will have 3 more throws, and 7:44. She'll need an extra 3 meters plus in order to get into the top 8 and to see the full competition out. Marisa Ilchina of Ukraine. Now 12:30 is a lifetime best, which would put her in medal contention, put her up into 4th place. Ukraine have had a successful games so far in the athletics with 4 golds. That is beyond 11 meters. Solid opening effort. It should put her in the top 5. She's from Lviv. In terms of major championship medals, you have to go back to 2011. Silver in the shot and bronze in the discus. In Christchurch in the World Championships, 11:74 has her in 5th place.
Men's javelin action will be getting underway shortly as well in the F13 category. We continue with the women's shot put for now, F12 category, and here is Sunda Legdonte. Now her first attempt, 15:30. She can get it out to the 17:32 mark. World record and Paralympic record holder, expecting big things.
That's a very, very big throw. Big things, absolutely. That's a massive effort, and that's well beyond the world record line, isn't it?
Well, it's annihilated it. If our eyes are in good form this morning, that would have to be a world and Paralympic record.
Well, it's 14:61 because it's the F12 world record line they put out, and not the F11, and she's an
So
F11.
our eyes were deceiving us.
Yes, there you go. 15:30, she still leads in. So basically, there's a gentleman underneath a blue umbrella, and she has to throw beyond him to get a world record. This is Liu Yating of Chinese Taipei. That's around just shy, I would think, of 10 meters. Jostling to get into the top 8 to have the full set of throws then. Well, Lenyante, twice a world champion. She's the reigning Paralympic champion, a European champion as well from 2014. She had qualified for the 2004 Olympic Games, by the way, Lenyante, but the Italian Olympic Committee, because of her eyesight, decided not to give her a berth, unfortunately, and that is not an improvement for Liu Yating.
Now, this is Sofia Bukhanova from Uzbekistan. .87, already a world record for the F12 classification. Can she improve on it? It's right out there again. So at this stage, in first place overall is Legnante from Italy, with Bukhanova in the F12 classification, a different classification, 1482, so not quite the world record again, but she still has 3 attempts. She's in fine fettle this morning.
And we're concentrating on this, by the way. In the original schedule, there were due to be a couple of races in the men's 1500 meters T52, but they've been moved out of today's schedule. Tang of China, 10.94 at best so far. Lifetime best 12.47. That would get her up into 4th place. An extra half meter on that, and she'd get into the medals then. That's just shy of the 11-meter line.
So not quite as far as her first attempt for the Chinese athlete as we continue through the shot put competition. So 2 classifications, remember, here. We've got a very big final coming up, the women's 100 meters T35 final. A couple of excellent women's finals on the track in this early session. Here's Isabella Campos from Brazil. Has the local crowd behind her, 10.32. She's thrown that this year. That's her lifetime best. And out it goes. It's not going to be 10.32. It's going to be just over the 9-meter mark. So a no throw for Campos after 10.11 was her best. The second round of throws. Now here's Zhou Yuping from China. Real medal chance in this classification. 11.9 her best. You can see the Paralympic benchmark. She's not that far away.
That's a really good throw. 11.90 has her in 4th place. She has to improve by just under a meter. 12.81 is the medals, but 12.82 is the Paralympic record. So you can see she's a little short. Not bad, though. 12 meters 17.
Yes, and that's a real improvement on what she's thrown this season, but she can throw a lot better. 12.71 lifetime best. She's in the F12 classification, so sits around the 4th place. Now here is Sivakova from Belarus, also in the F12 classification. 11.19 her best. She's steadily on the improve here. And that is going to be just under the 11-meter mark. So that's going to be the worst of 3 rounds for her at this stage. Getting some encouragement from her guide. just flirting there with the 11-metre tape. 10.91 confirmed for Tamara Sivakova, 10.91. So overall, it's Sunderland-Nonte leading, with Birkenova in second. In the bronze medal position at the moment, Rebecca Valenzuela Alvarez from Mexico, heading towards the halfway stage of the competition. This is Zhang Liangming from China, 30 years of age. Best throw to date, 10.59, just inside his season's best. She was the gold medalist in the discus. And that's not bad. Zhang Liangmin, 11.12, and that is her best throw to date. Now this is from France, Rose Walipa. Rose Walipa, 10.58, her best throw to date. Can get over the 11.60 mark. It's got to, maybe just under the 11.
Yeah, Walipa's doing her best to get into that top 8. There's a real divide between them and the rest of the moment. That's knocking around 11 meters. I think actually, yeah, she's made it 11.01 into 8th place, and she dislodges Tang Hongxia with that 10.94 for China, who drops into 9th position. It's a good battle right now for the gold between Lenante with that 15.30 and Birkenova with the 14.87 world record for the F12. But she's got a bit more distance to go. Valenzuela Alvarez has the North America record from today, 12.81. And that might just be a solid improvement on that. But has she managed to surpass Birkenova? Well, I think she's definitely gone beyond her previous mark, because that first line is just bang on what she'd thrown previously, which was the Paralympic record, which has now been broken by this lady, who's got the world record as well. Valenzuela Alvarez, 13.05. Good throwing, and that increases her North American record. It's past the old Paralympic record, which has now been broken by Birkenova. And for Tonga, Talaki once more. Well, the main job for her is to try and get a lifetime best, get herself into position and finish as high as she can, but I don't think she's going to be in the top 8. And that's gone down as a foul, so that'll be that for her in this competition. The sole female competitor across the board in all sports in this Paralympic Games. It's another nice day here, temperature in the mid-30s. There is, though, a slight cooling breeze for the first time in quite a few days. Croatia, as always, well supported here. In terms of the track, that women's 100 meters T35 final coming up shortly. Athletes on the way out. And this should be quite a race in prospect. Crowd already in position. Looking forward to the track being eaten up. Be a joust between the reigning world champion, the reigning European champion, the former world champion, Holt, Lyle and Corso, respectively. Three brilliant athletes who each emerged in different championships. Each looked as if they were going to dominate for a while, but this is a very, very big final.
So this is the women's 100 meters T35 final. World record holder Isis Holt, 13:57. And hasn't she just burst onto the scene, the 15-year-old from Melbourne? She made her international debut at the Worlds and broke the world record. There she is in lane 2. Also from Australia, Brianna Coop, but we have Maria Lyle from Great Britain, who's also a young star, 16 years of age. What can this woman, Zhou from China, produce? 17 years of age. A little bit of an unknown quantity, really, leading into this Paralympic Games final. 17 years of age, first international competition. Her first major final here. She'll also be competing in the 200 against similar opposition. There's Coop in lane number 6 from Townsville in Queensland, a bronze medalist in the World Championships behind Holt. Now coming back towards her blocks here, Maria Lyle. So Isis Holt being introduced. Also the world champion in the 200 meters, Isis Holt. This is Maria Lyle, runner-up in Doha in both the 100 and 200, beaten by Holt, the British Young Paralympic Athlete of the Year in 2014. Jutta Steghart's the oldest in the field here at 22 years of age. Her personal best, you wouldn't think would be giving this a shake. Oksana Corso from Italy, in contention for a bronze. You would think in this field, Coop, bronze medalist in the Worlds, would be hoping for a similar result here. And in lane number 7, Zhou from China. Now we've got a DNS next to Anna Luxova from Czech Republic, not starting. So that means we are left with a field of 6. So it's Holt, Lyle, Streckert, Corso, Coop and Zhou. One of the bigger moments here on day 7 of the track and field program. Some young stars about to sear on the track. Ready, and away they go. And on the inside, Holt away fairly. Lyle's giving her a race. Look at Zhou right down the outside. Holt the inside, Zhou the outside. It's going to be really close. Holt and Zhou. Zhou's got it. Zhou's beaten Holt. Lyle third, bronze medal for Britain. And getting into 4th on the outside, it looked to be Coop from Australia. So it was a great battle inside and outside lanes. And Holt has been surprised here by Zhou from China. The time 13:66, Paralympic record. Well, we thought she was an unknown quantity and could be the real fly in the ointment for the world champion, and that's how it proved to be. 13:66 Paralympic record. Isis Holt, the silver medal, another silver medal in track events here in Rio for Australia, 13:75. Maria Lyle, Great Britain, 14:41. Coop from Australia, fourth. Corso, Italy, in fifth. And then it was Strickart rounding out the six.
Well, I don't believe it. Isis Holt in the World Championships last year looked incredible, as if she'd dominate for years and years, and that Holt and Lyle would be the big battle for years and years. And then in her first major championship, this is her first major championship race for Zhou. She comes along 13:66, and she's beaten Holt here. It's just outside Holt's world record. Paralympic record, though, of 13:66. And she comes through. Holt against Lyle looked as if it was going to be the big race for a while, and then Zhou emerging out of lane 7. Well, first of all, look at Lyle. Better start than Holt, and then Zhou just rockets away. This is where Holt comes into her own. Holt may have had a slight lead, only for a few strides, and then Zhou in the final 50 comes away. And Holt obviously in 2, Zhou in 7. Long way away. She's not going to be able to see with the naked eye exactly how it's going. Maybe a little glance over the big screen. Zhou coming through this. A 17-year-old. She's 2 years older than Holt. And it's an amazing turnaround in this category that we've had the past few years. And Zhou wins the gold for China. Oksana Corso came in the scene in 2013 and was brilliant. Looked as if she'd dominate for a few years. Then Maria Lyle, the Europeans, in 2014. Then Holt came along in 2015. And now Zhou has come along in 2016. 13:66, she wins. Holt with the silver and Lyle the bronze. An incredible race, and this T35 category, it never disappoints. Every single year now over the past 3-4 major championships, we've had a new name who's come along, and they've come along to take the gold. First Corso, then Lyle, then Holt, now Zhou.
Men's javelin is next, F13 classification. This is a final. So again, we have a couple of classifications in this final. And this is the start list. On your screen, we have 4 athletes in the F13 classification and then 3 in the F12 classification. As though over there just getting organized, so I can introduce a few of these athletes to you. So Zhu Pingkai from China, the middle of your screens. And now they're about to officially be introduced to the crowd.
Just lining up, ready for their big presentation. 4 field finals today. F13 is least visual impairment. They can definitely get the javelins out. Obviously a solid distance in this.
So now the official presentation of the field. Starting list of 7. And we start off on the right. We have Sajad Nick Parast from Iran, 29 years of age. He can get out there around the 63-metre mark, only competing in the javelin. He is the silver medalist from London. This is Alexander Svechnikov from Uzbekistan, fresh-faced 18-year-old, competed in the real AT 11 to T13, got the bronze medal there for Uzbekistan. Hector Cabrera Lecha from Spain. 62.28 is his personal best, 8th in the shot put already here, 5th at the World Championships in this discipline. On screen is Branimir Budatic from Croatia, 26 years of age. Branimir Budatic. This is Andrei Muka from Belarus, who looks as though, is he going to be starting? He might be. Just out of order now. I don't think he will be. This is Zhou Pengkai from China, 29 years of age, and Nemanja Trijevic from Serbia. So there we have it. Looks as though a few are out of order in that line, but we have a field of 7 in that men's javelin throw, and also in that F13 classification, Dmitrijevic only competing in the javelin, but was the bronze medalist at the World Championships, so we'll be watching for him. And Zhou Pengkai from China was the gold medalist in London and also Beijing, so he goes in as favourite here.
And as a result of that, he had the honour of carrying the Croatian flag in the opening ceremony last week at the Maracanã. The reigning world champion, a prime candidate for the gold here. Zhou Pengkai, by the way, won this title at London 2012. He threw the world record of 64.38. He's an F12. And there's a mix of F12s and 13s here. And Zhou, a big opportunity of defending his title here. He's due to throw 6th, Budatic 4th in line. Zhou has won the last 2 Paralympic Games titles and was champion in Christchurch in 2011. It was superseded by Budatic last year in Doha. Zhou actually finished 6th in that. That's a magnificent throw. That's very close to the Paralympic record, you'll see. And it's the F13 record of Chiang Chi-chung of Chinese Taipei that's listed. 59.38. Zhou Pengkai is a 64.38 thrower. And anybody who gets beyond the world record line, that is Budacic's 65.74, which is longer than Zhou's F12 record. 59.37 is a centimetre off that Paralympic record. It's a good way to start. Silver in London in 2012 and in the Asian Games in Incheon. First major championship for the Uzbekistan thrower, Alexander Svechnikov. We got that relay medal gloriously. The bronze yesterday, with Brazil taking the honours. He's put a lot into that. That is magnificent. That is a Paralympic record. It's beyond 59.38. His lifetime best set this year, 62.43. It's not an IPC record, but he's just broken the Paralympic record here. It's a magnificent throw. It's beyond 60 metres, surely. And it is. New Paralympic record for Svechnikov of 61.08, and that sets the standard. And the 18-year-old has done magnificently there. We have further entertainment coming in the women's long jump, and this has produced some real excitement during the week.
Plenty of records tumbling. You can see there in this long jump competition, we have a field of 7 lining up. Benson from Namibia, Ayachi from Tunisia, Elkington Jones from Australia also there on your screen. We've got Francisca Leipart next to her, who we've seen plenty of. Hannah Benson And Zhou comes in here, 26 years of age. Jodie Elkington-Jones being introduced, has a best leap of 4:44, which would have her in contention for a medal. Francesca Leipart, 4.73 personal best, would have her well and truly in contention. This woman, I should say, is the hardest to beat. Wen Zhaijian, 4.92 personal best, season's best. Lenny Bahi from Tunisia, we've seen plenty of her already, and Maiki Harsberger from Germany would have to lift here to be in contention for a medal. 21 years of age, Harsberger, competing in the women's 400 metres as well. Was 5th in the 400 metres in London, 9th in the long jump. So that's about to get underway. The first to go will be Joanna Benson from Namibia, who was the gold medalist in the 200 metres in the T37 classification 4 years ago. Elkington-Jones, the 23-year-old from Australia. Her results historically have been on the track. Now back to the men's javelin. F13 final here.
Cabrera Lasser of Spain, who's performed very well in the recent European Championships on a global scale. He's found himself as a 5th placer in that World Championships in Doha last year. He sent that one a good distance out. He's the 3rd to throw. He's in 3rd place, but it's 58.47, and his lifetime best this year is 62.28, which actually would be good enough to lead if you were to emulate that. We've got the reigning world champion and the reigning Paralympic champion still to come.
Now the victory ceremony for the women's javelin, F54. So the first of the victory ceremonies on this day 7 of track and field competition here at the Rio Paralympic Games. Dr. Gertrude Kromholtz is assisting here with Rear Admiral Luis Rodriguez Nunez. So a terrific result for South Africa. Situ with a well-earned bronze. AD from Tunisia with a javelin throw of 18 meters 88. And the gold medalist from Nigeria, Flora Onwunwa, 2025 was the throw. It was a comprehensive win. Gold medalist, women's javelin, F54 classification. Exciting the crowd with a tremendous throw to take the gold medal. And of course, golden-haired Tom as well. But a mighty moment for Nigeria, and now it's time to sing it loudly, the national anthem. Great to see some Nigerian fans in the front row here of the seating in the stadium, and they are loving that, and rightly so. So a gold medal to Nigeria. It was Tunisia, silver, and South Africa in the bronze medal position. First of our victory ceremonies we've seen on day 7. We have live action going on with the men's javelin throw, F13 classification. This is Sajad Nikparast, 59.37, his first attempt. And here he is back onto the runway. Can he get it up over the 60 mark?
Well, it's a solid effort. It goes beyond that Paralympic record line, but remember that applies only to the F13s at 60 meters 07. It's a season's best, and he goes into second position. As we return to the women's long jump, this is the F37, and this is Wen Zhou of China. Her first round attempt, silver here in the 400 meters. Her first major championship. And the 18-year-old looking to stamp a big claim on this. Well, we've seen astonishing stuff from Chinese teams already today, and it's a solid mark for Wen. Well, I'm interested to see how well she's done here. I think that's perhaps going to test her own world record set in Beijing back in April, which was 4:92, which equaled that of Lisa McIntosh. Crowd appreciative. Coach It's hard to tell. Oh, 492 matches her own world record in this T37.
Looked as though the coach was a hard man to please. Alexander Svetnikov. From Uzbekistan, 18 years of age. First attempt, 61.08, had him in front. And that is another excellent attempt. And flirting with the standard as well. That's well and truly out there, this F13 classified athlete. Paralympic records 59.38. He's annihilated it. 65.69. 65.69 for Svetnikov of Uzbekistan, and he is well on his way to Paralympic glory.
And that was only 5 centimeters off the world record. Here's Nedi Bahi of Tunisia. We've seen her already win bronze in the 400. She was 4th in the 100, and that's a solid effort from the Tunisian. They're having a very, very good games here. Launched herself out. 4:44 her lifetime best. T37 this is. It's cerebral palsy category. Second strongest or second least impaired. Good run up, solid jump. The outgoing 400 meters champion from London 2012 and bronze medalist here at the moment. She's gone out to 4:03. The final of the women's 400 meters T38. In this, the Asian Games champion, the Pan American champion, and the Paralympic champion in cycling's time trial, Kadina Cox. Chen Ippolito also have major continental title to the name. This is Tarita Isaac out of Brisbane, Queensland, representing Australia. Bronze in the 400 meters at the World Championships in Doha with the Agitos tattoo. Kadina Cox, the world champion in track cycling. Gold here in the time trial, bronze in the 100 meters. The first British Paralympian to medal in 2 sports of the same game since 1988. Maria Fernandez, bronze in the long jump 2013, bronze in the 400 in 2000. Here's the Asian Games champion in the 1, the 2, the 4, and the 4x1. And the 200 meters Paralympic champion in London, Chen Yufei of China. Major championship debut in 4 for the 100 meters semi-finalist here in Rio for Japan, Yuka Takamatsu. The Pan Am champion representing Brazil. Over 100, 200, and 400. And the former 200 world champion, Veronica Ippolito. And for Tunisia, 5 major championship silver medals to her name, all over 200 and 100 for Tunisia, Sonia Mansour. So Ippolito of Brazil, the Pan Am champion, Chen of China, the Asian champion. Here's Kadina Cox, the world 100 meters champion, world champion in track cycling, Paralympic champion in track cycling. Could she get gold medals in 2 separate sports in the same Paralympic Games? The final of the women's 400 meters, T38. And away they go. Cox out strongly in lane 7. Chen now the strongest in lane 5 for China. She's already overtaken on her outside Maria Fernandez of Portugal. Cox will have a bit of work to fend her off in lane 7. Mansour going well in 2. Ippolito going better in 3. Isaac not going too shabbily either in lane 8. Chen fading a little bit. Cox now beginning to put the foot down in lane 7. It's Cox in 7. Chen in 5. Ippolito in 3. With all the bulk of the Brazilian support, and it's going to be between these three when they straight it up in this 400 meters final. It's Cox, it's Chen, it's Hipólito, it's Chen in the middle, it's Cox on the near side, and Cox is moving up with 50 to go. Chen is fighting back for China. Cox is moving up, and Kadina Cox has done it. Gold in cycling, gold in athletics at the same Paralympic Games, and it's a new world record for Kadina Cox. 1 minute, 0.71. And it's history right across the board. A world record in the cycling time trial in the velodrome, and she smashed the 400 meters world record of Margarita Goncharova of Russia from the European Championships this year. It's fantastic. Paralympic history. For the first time in a generation, Great Britain has a medalist in 2 sports, but she's not stopped there. Gold on the double, and what Kadina Cox has done is nothing short of magnificent, and the track pounces again as the top 4 are continental records as well. But look at Cox go. Chen in the lead by this stage, Hipólito in 3rd place, and Cox pushing and pushing. She wouldn't be denied. She's got that brilliant strength in those legs. 1 minute 0.71. Chen, Asian record in 2nd. Hipólito, South American record in 3rd, with Tarita, Isaac, and Oceanic record in 4th place.
Well, what a run. Kadina Cox, she went to the front off the back straight, and for a moment I thought she was in trouble coming round the turn at this point, because Chen had rallied through, and the tracking camera shows it beautifully. She had a margin over Cox, so Cox had to re-rally, and re-rally she did. And look how strong she was in the last 30 to 40 meters, powering away from Chen, who wouldn't be denied, but she just didn't have enough power. And she is a real power, Kadina Cox. She had to plead with the officials that she could compete in both athletics and cycling. How she's been able to squeeze it all in, I don't know. But it is a history-making win, and gets the box set as well with the world record. Astonishing victory from Chen Junfei, Veronica Hipólito from Brazil in 3rd, Tarita Isaac in 4th, and Sonia Mansour from Tunisia in 5th place in one of the highlight races of the program.
Well, Jodie Condé and Dame Sarah Story have won Paralympic gold medals in 2 sports previously. Cox has done that, but in the 1 Games. We'll be talking about that for years to come. Here's Jodie Elkington-Jones for Australia in the women's long jump, the T37. She is well in contention in this at the moment, and it's a really solid effort from it. A no jump in the first round. She's aiming for 4:03 to get above Nedi Bahi and to potentially get into the medals here. Lives in Sydney, New South Wales, originally from Victoria. She's going in the relay as well, and she's the reigning Commonwealth Games champion. Beyond 4 meters, it certainly looked. 4 meters 30, and Elkington-Jones goes into 3rd place.
This is Leibart from Germany. Leibart, 34 years of age, already a gold medalist in the shot put. Was runner-up in this event in Doha at the Worlds, and she has put in a decent leap on this occasion. Her first attempt, 4 meters 42. That to put her into 2nd ranking. Can she equal or better that? It's going to be close. She's put everything into that leap. 4 meters 40, so just a shade less. 4 meters 40, but that earlier leap holds her in 2nd place behind Weng Zhaoyang of China, who came out with 4:92. Which was a world record mark, equaling that of her leap in Beijing earlier in the year. So can she improve? Weng Zhaoyang, she's already got to the Everest of the world record. Can she better it? And it's pretty good. I think she's going to go close. She's a real candidate to take the world record even further here. Look at that. You can see the expression in her face, just throwing everything into it. A real grimace, getting more advice from her coach. I'm pretty convinced he's a hard man to please now, because he's still giving her further instruction, and she's put the world record through the roof at 4.97 meters. So we move on to another track event, and this is the men's 800 meters first round. So we have 2 heats here. First 3 in each heat go through to the final round. The next 2 fastest advance. And we have a field of 8, so a full field. You see Richard Coleman in the middle, the 31-year-old who was the gold medalist in the 800 in 2004 and 2012. He has 7 Paralympic medals next to his name, 2 of them gold. Joshua George, 5th in the 5,000 here, 7th in the 400. Gold medalist in the 100 in Beijing, 5 Paralympic medals, 1 of them gold. This is Zhou from China, 6 times Paralympic gold medalist, 200 and 400 gold medalist in London. So Joshua George in lane 8 for the USA. That's Zhou from China on screen in 2. And away they go. So in staggers until they go towards the back straight, where they'll come over in the middle of the screen. Coleman there in the yellow. On the inside, Pio from Thailand got a good start. Out wide, George was away quickly. And also Matsunaga from Japan is going to come over, and Lee is going to probe through here for China. So it's Japan, China, and out wide, George is going to sweep across for the USA. George leads in the first lap of this 800-meter semi-final. Comes to the turn, leading from Pio in 2nd place for Thailand, and then China in 3rd place, Lee, and then a gap of about 12 meters to the next competitor, which is Zhou from Korea. And at this stage, 2nd last in the race is Coleman. So they leave the straight. 50.84 was that opening lap, and they're about to turn on the power now. So it's the US in front. Josh George, personal best 134.43, leads. But now moving up on the outside, Lee is going to get a bit closer, but being pushed out by Pio in the centre. So with 250 metres to go, Pio goes to the lead and is going to really put the power down now, and has raced clear. Battle on for 2nd. First 3 go through here. And trying hard is Zhou from Korea to qualify. He's in 4th place at the moment. Pio coming clear. Lee trying to give him a race in the final 50, but Pio will beat Lee. Pio from Lee, George in 3rd, and then in 4th is Zhou, and then they've gapped the others. Race on for 5th place here, Coleman, and on the inside, that was a terrific last 100 meters by Al-Adwani from Kuwait, who gets the 5th.
A good few lifetime bests here. Pio with that 137.45, and Lee in 2nd place with the 137.77. In fact, 3 of the top 4 are lifetime bests. But Pio just has that knack. He won gold in the 400 meters, silver in the 1. And when he hit the front, the Thai competitor with Josh George on the inside, who's had a very busy schedule. George progressing also in 3rd place. Lee comfortably in 2nd. And once they hit the top 3, there was no major jostling for position. Pio wanted to win more, but the other 2 content to go through. Young quite fast, 138.77. That actually breaks his lifetime best from this year by 4 seconds. Very good chance he'll be on the way through. It's the next 2 fastest who will progress across the 2 heats. And Pio 137.45 gets through along with Lee for China and George for the USA. But Young Dong-ho for Korea in a position of strength as well in 4th place. Back to the long jump now. So we've had a couple of world records from Wen already as we join Maike Hausberger of Germany. Hausberger, who started off with a 3:96 from Trier, now based in Butzweiler, also going in the 400 meters, and that coming down around the 4-meter mark. Best global championship result coming in the 400 meters at London 2012. She was 5th in that, came 9th in the long jump, and she's plunked herself down almost pretty much on 4 meters there. In terms of the Europeans, bronze in the 4x1 relay in Swansea, and didn't compete in Grosseto. International para-triathlete also. Hasn't competed in that here.
Was first competing for Germany at the Worlds 5 years ago, 4 meters 6. So steadily on the improve with her second leap.
So Wen, again, what a time she's had so far. 4:92 in the first round to equal her world record set this year in Beijing. Then she broke the world record, 4:97 in round 2. What awaits in the 3rd round here? Has she become the first athlete to break 5 meters in this category? She's not very far away. 4:97, that excellent effort in the 2nd round. She had shared the record with Lisa McIntosh from 2001 in Canberra. But Wen is finding new frontiers here. Her 3rd jump of the competition in this final. She seems satisfied with how it's gone so far. She's got a huge lead. It's even greater. It's another world record. It's 5:07. Heat 2 of the men's 800 meters T53. And we've a couple of non-starters here. Patrick Krunjet of Thailand and Patrick Monaghan of Ireland. For France, Pierre Fairbank won bronze in the 400 meters here. Fairbank, very good over 8. Has been the European champion and the former world champion in this back in 2002. Brent Lakatos, the reigning Pan Am and world champion. Paralympic gold in the 100 meters and silver in the 400 here for Canada. Perpetually successful. 3 silvers in London in the 2, the 4 and the 8. Brian Seaman also in this, 5th in the 400, 7th in the 100. Mo Jomny as well, silver in the 800 in the last 2 European Championships. So it's Zhou in 2, Seaman in 3, Lakatos 4, Fairbank 5, Yu in 7, and Jomny in lane 8. So there's now a field of 6 when it was due to be 8. As the top 3 will go through, plus the next 2 fastest losers. Fairbank has taken up the advantage straight away for France, but Lakatos will be moving in right alongside. Yu of Korea has also made a move right alongside the great Pierre Fairbank. He's been winning major championship medals since the 1998 Worlds in Birmingham. Yu very comfortably on his shoulder. The Chinese, the same generation, they're both in their 40s now. But in wheelchair racing, athletes very, very durable. Mo Jomny just making a little move on the inside for Great Britain, the 400 meters European champion from 2014, and took the 2 this year as they hit the bell. Fairbank is up there. A little bit of work still for Jomny to do in 2nd place. And now here comes Brent Lakatos on the outside for Canada, the 100 meters Paralympic champion, and he's sailing out in front alongside Pierre Fairbank. Real joust now for the position in 3rd. The rest are beginning to fall back. Brian Seaman of the USA moving up into 3rd. But Lakatos and Fairbank, well, they've been here before so many times. Lots of global golds to their name. Fairbank, the former Paralympic 200 meters champion in Sydney 2000. Fairbank And Lagados to 1 and 2. Lagados maybe going for the psychological advantage on the win. Lagados, Fairbank, and Seaman the 1, 2, 3. And coming up into fourth, it looked like Yu of Korea. And then trailing behind Jomny of Great Britain and Zhou of China. Lagados wins 1:43.37. It's quite a bit slower than the first heat, which means quite a few of the fastest losers will probably come from that. But Lagados showing the way to go. Fairbank, Seaman going through also. Yu back in fourth place with a 1:44.14. And Fairbank making the early move. And Lagados happy not to do a lot in the early stage. He got into the position he wanted to be. Yu, on the other hand, had moved up on the outside alongside the wheel of Fairbank out in front. And then Lagados decided to go. And Lagados gets the win ahead of Fairbank. Wanted the 1 against his name even in this. Seaman in third.
It was a good battle up the straight. Lagados just the stronger for Canada. 1:43.37. We know he can go around the 1:38 mark. He has done that this season. And looking forward to the next round, the final of that men's 800 metres. And some keen racing.
You'll see no small cues there, so it looks like everybody else has been eliminated. Yu, Zhou and Jomny. It was a much slower winning time. So much so that Young in fourth in the first heat, faster than everybody else in the second. And Hamad Al-Wali of Kuwait qualifies also.
Alexander Svechnikov already has the Paralympic record in this javelin. F13 final. And that's another excellent throw from Svechnikov, the 18-year-old, already with the throw of 65.69, which has just obliterated anybody else in the field. And let's see what he was able to produce here. 58.66. His fourth round of throws, but at this stage leads the nearest pursuer by 5 meters. Now back to the long jump.
Elkington Jones of Australia in a very good position at the moment. She started off very well, the Commonwealth Games champion. 4:06. Currently outside the medals for Hausberger. Elkington up to 4 meters 30. And that has her in third. No jump in the opening round for Elkington Jones. As you'll see, the crowd are very much staying in away from the sun. Well populated in the shade on the back straight. We've got a victory ceremony on the way, and this is for the women's 100 meters T35. That very swift final from earlier.
And a surprise for some, Isis Holt, the world record holder, who burst onto the scene in Doha with that time of 13:63, the 15-year-old from Melbourne on the left of screen. But we knew that Zhou was an unknown quantity. Recorded 14:07 previously, but the first major competition here. And what was a real spectacle, Isis Holt in lane 2, and Zhou was out in 7. And after a sluggish start from Holt, she accelerated, as we know she can, but Zhou was just too good in lane number 7. And with Zhou being 17 years of age, Holt being 15, they're going to have some great battles in years to come. And then in third place was Lyle from Great Britain. Mr. Marco Vieira, Executive Director, Rio 2016, involved in the presentation here. So the world champion on the left of screen. Would love to have been Paralympic champion as well. And in a high drama race, even Holt looked over to the right and thought, who's got me this time? Here is another youngster from Great Britain, 16 years of age, runner-up to Bolt in Doha, both in the 100 and the 200, Para-Athlete of the Year by Scottish Athletics last year. Another with a bright future. Really was a race for the youth, this one, the T35 women's 100 metres. The bronze medal to Great Britain. So a proud moment for Isis Holt. And who knows, maybe a career-defining silver medal here. This could just push her the extra mile. We know she's got such a bright future. There might be a silver lining behind that silver medal, but she's delighted, and so she should be, 15 years of age. And as I mentioned, first major international event for Zhou at 17 years of age. And she's blown them out of the water here. And what a race we're going to have in the 200 metres now also. So it's a gold medal for China, silver Australia, bronze Great Britain, and now the national anthem of China. It's just great to see stars of the future. They're stars now at Paralympic Games level, but look at those three fresh young faces that are going to take the world by storm as we move back to the long jump now on the far side.
Well, we've had 3 attempts so far from Wen, and they have all been world records. 492, 497, 507. Who knows what's on the way here? Wen has had an amazing run so far in this competition. And that's another pile driver by Wen Zhaoyan. First major championship for the 18-year-old. And she's certainly gone beyond 5 meters here. 5:07 in round 3, the best of the day, the best ever in T37 long jumping. Really is pulverizing the field. The lead right now is over half a meter back to Franziska Liebert of Germany. 5 meters 14, 4 jumps, 4 world records. When will it end?
Back to the pole vault. Having another great competition. And that is a terrific throw again. As we move to this F13 final. Shnenikov from Uzbekistan. Best throw of 65.69, but he's been unable to match that. His first attempt, 61.08, was his second best, 57.55 on this occasion. So the Paralympic record is in the bag, but is starting to nudge towards the world mark, but he's not going to get it with throws like that. But already the gold medal looks quite safe at this point with one more attempt to go. His nearest pursuer is about 4 to 5 meters off the pace. So the crowd here witnessing some terrific action in the field and some dramatic finals, some enthralling in finals on the track with Kadina Cox creating history moments ago. Now we go back to the long jump. Hausberger.
Yeah, fourth place at the moment, 4:06 attempts in round 2, and in round 4, and she's currently 24 centimeters off Jodie Elkington-Jones in third place in her push for the medals. Bronze in the 4x1 at the Europeans in Swansea 2 years ago, and fourth in the javelin. She was fifth in the long jump there, ninth in the long jump at London 2012. It doesn't look as if it's going to improve very much for her. It's again around the 4 meters mark, but it needs to be noticeably further than that. Liebhardt currently in second place, 4:42. Elkington-Jones in third, 4 meters 30. There's a little bit of pressure behind her. Nelly Barty was in the top 3 for a bit. The bronze medalist from the 400 meters and fourth in the 1, who is 3 centimeters behind. She's just done 4:03. Hausberger has not broken 4 meters that time. It's 3:86, and she stays in fourth place.
Now the javelin, as we to and fro here. This is our next competitor from China, Zhou Pingkai. Now he has so far had one illegal throw, and 56.81 is his benchmark. Currently sits in the bronze medal position. Have to throw over 65 meters to challenge for gold. It's out there, and that isn't too bad. He consolidates his position in the medals, and he knows it. Jogging away. The 29-year-old who's only competing here in this event. He's the reigning Paralympic champion from the last 2 Paralympic Games. It's not going to be a gold medal this time. In fact, that has pushed him right down here to 6th position. Sixth position for him, and as we've seen earlier, there's been some decent throws from the Serbian, Dimitrijev, and also Nick Paras from Iran, so they're also challenging for medals. So it's quite tight in that jostle for a bronze as we now move to the men's 200 meters T11 semi-final. This is for visually impaired athletes. We have 8 athletes in total. The first in each heat go through. The next 2 fastest advance. From Namibia, and Aeneas Shakongo qualified with a time of 22:93. Big roar. Daniel Silva, and he wants to hear even more noise, the 37-year-old gold medalist in the relay. He was the silver medalist in London in this event. And from China, Di Dongdong, who's had a busy schedule so far, 4th in the 100 and the silver medalist in the relay. He comes in here as the reigning bronze medalist in the 100 metres in the World Championships. Didn't compete in the 200 there. So it's Di Dongdong, silver, Chikongo, and Chamalaya from Angola out wide in lane 7. His personal best 23.33, the 19-year-old. T11 men's 200 metres, they're set. And away, Di Dongdong on the inside, got a quick start, and so too does Chikongo in 5. So already getting into that stagger, held by Chamalaya from Angola, racing clear of Chikongo. Now what's Di Dongdong on the inside going to do? Chikongo's clear, Chikongo comes away, battle for second, it'll be the Brazilian for second. Chikongo wins, second silver, Di Dongdong third, and Chamalaya from Angola in 4th place. 22.49 is the time for the 200 metres, but coming away. And Aeneas Chikongo from Namibia, he was the bronze medalist in the 100 metres, just outside the medals for Namibia in the relay, but stakes a claim here in the 200 metres. He was strong and was never going to be beaten there. Big roar in the stadium because Silva has run a season's best 23.01, and Di Dongdong equals the Asian record of 23.22 after an excellent start. So a fair bit of quality in that first semi-final.
Yes, it's an equaling of the Paralympic record held by Lucas Prado, by Aeneas Chikongo, the African champion, the triple champion, and just look at him go in the end. Silva pushing up into second place, 23.01. It's only the winner that's certain to go through, plus the next two fastest, but Chikongo and his guide, Evan Chiviju, bronze in the 1, pushed up to 4th in the 4x1. It's been a very good games for him, and it's just got better. He won his first round heat, and now he's won his semi-final as well, ahead of Silva, whose time at 23.01 puts him in a strong position as going through as the fastest loser. That's a tied African record for D as well. Chikongo takes it, 22.48. Silva in second place, 23.01. And Di Dongdong in third, 23.22. Javelin hotting up, we're into the final round. Nick Parast of Iran, currently in the bronze medal position.
Yes, quite tight around the bronze medal here at the moment. So be hoping for a big one.
It's gone out a good distance, it's well beyond 60 meters. Dimitrijevic of Serbia with a 60.86, currently lying in second place. But Nick Parast had been in a firm position, and now he's gone into second. He's improved by 2 meters, 62.74. Just the one attempt left for Dimitrijevic to try and get himself back into the silver medal position. 60.86. That lifetime best that has him in third. Can he pull it off? He needs an extra 2 meters himself now. And it's shy of that Paralympic record line, which is around 60 meters. So Dimitrijevic will be content with the bronze for Serbia. It just fell shy. And Dimitrijevic certainly is content with the bronze. Bronze in the World Championships in Doha, bronze in the European Championships in Grosseto, and bronze here in Rio de Janeiro.
So here is Alexander Svechnikov, 18 years of age, and has just thrown a Paralympic record, 65-69, second round. Can he better it? He wants some support. Not that many spectators behind him at the moment, but he's going to try and use every little cheer to try and push this out even further. Gives it everything with the big scream. It's not going to be, but the Paralympic record is his, and the gold medal is his. Alexander Svechnikov from Uzbekistan, 65-69, has won the contest. Svechnikov on a day where the youngsters are proving their worth. Gold medal here, add to his bronze medal in the 4x100 relay. Versatile customer. His older sister Anastasia also competed at Olympic Games in 08 and 2012, so plenty of athletic blood in the family. But it is a gold medal to Uzbekistan here in the men's javelin throw F13 category. It is a silver medal to Iran and a bronze to Serbia. More track action now.
We go back to the men's 200 meters T11, the second semi-final. It features the reigning world and Paralympic champion Felipe Gomez and the Pan Am champion David Brown of the United States, our 100 meters champion. It's the first major championship for Fan Zhetan of China. We've said that a few times today. The others have done okay. Huang Zusi is his guide. The reigning world and Paralympic champion. 4x1 gold yesterday. 200 meters champion from London 2012. And again from Doha, that being Felipe Gomez. David Brown winning the 100 meters here at the Paralympic Games. And also at the Pan Ams last year. Silver in the 200 meters of the Europeans in Grosseto for Turkey, Mehmet Tunk, and his guide, Arda Eris. T11, complete visual impairment. The men's 200 meters semi-final. Only the winner guaranteed a spot in the final in terms of the fastest, loosest places. Currently, it's silver with 23.01 and D with 23.22. Brown and Gomez winning their first round heats. Tunk in 1, Brown in 3, Gomez 5, Fan in lane 7. Oh, it's a false start, and it's Mehmet Tunk, it looked to me. And was well before the gun. And that's unfortunate for the man who won European silver in this discipline at the Europeans in June. It was his guide, Arda Eris. Red card, same rules for the guide as the athlete. False start. And Mehmet Tunk has been disqualified. Well, good news in this for the other three, and good news for Silva and D in a way as well. Fan in lane 7 has run 23:33 this year, a lifetime best for the 20-year-old. The others have gone below 23 this season, and I have set lifetime best this year. Brown 22:29, Gomez 22:80. So David Brown then in lane 3, Felipe Gomez in 5, and Fan Zatan in lane 7. Only the winner guaranteed a place in the final. Well, away they go. Brown getting away well. Felipe Gomez with huge Brazilian support as usual. Inside the engine now. He's hit the front. Now they'll straighten up. It's Gomez leading for Brazil. Fan coming on the inside for China. Brown's having to fight back for the USA. Felipe Gomez is going to win this in style. 22:50. Fan in second place. Brown third. Superb running. Felipe Gomez, that may get rounded down. It's a lifetime best for him. It's confirmed as 22.50 now. And it certainly has re-energized the crowd. Fan with a Chinese and Asian record in second in 23.15. And he is into the final along with David Silva. Liebhardt in the women's long jump as we draw to a conclusion here. We are in the final round. She needs to go beyond 5 meters to claim the gold. Otherwise, it's silver for Germany. And that's how it will be. Elkington Jones, the bronze for Australia. And Wen Zhao with 4 world records in a 5 attempts so far, gets the gold for China. It's gone down as a foul anyway by Liebhardt, so it's academic where she landed. She could have landed in Sao Paulo, still wouldn't have mattered. 4:42 at best. Silver for Germany here. She's performed very, very well, Liebhardt. She's now based with a great Bayer Leverkusen club up in the Ruhr. A Berliner gold in the shot, silver in the long jump, and it's an upgrade on the 2 silvers that she earned at the World Championship. But Wen Zhao is our Paralympic champion. 5 meters 14 in the 4th round, and she's getting the crowd up and going again. Well, does she have something special left in the tank to round off? Oh, not bad. I don't think that's a 5th world record. Just the 4 for Wen Zhao today. Her 5th mark of 5 meters 01, also beyond the world record going into today. She'd had a share of that from back in April. Lisa McIntosh having had the share of it for the past few months, and it was her own outright for the last 15 years. Well, not anymore, Lisa. 4:84 from Wen to round up. 5:14, a best of the day, the best ever. Gold for China, silver for Germany, and bronze for Australia. What another remarkable set of marks. And as for the home support, delight that they've seen Felipe Gomez cross the line to take this second semi-final of the men's 200 meters. He was quite comfortable alongside his guide, Jonas de Lima Silva. He's picked up 2 medals already, a gold in the relay, silver in the 1, primed in the 2. Gomez takes it, 22.50. Fan Zatan second, 23.15. Brown in third, eliminated. Also in the final, Shikongo of Namibia and Daniel Silva of Brazil.
Well, when they play the highlights reel of the Paralympic Games in Rio, this lady is going to feature prominently. Kadina Cox, the gold medalist in the women's C4, C5 500-meter time trial in the velodrome, the Olympic velodrome at the Olympic Park, and now winning the women's 400 meters T38 at the Olympic Stadium, adding to that her bronze in the women's 100 meters here. The 25-year-old from Leeds, who is the world champion in the 100-meter sprint. But what an astounding display. One of the stars of the show here.
Well, golds in different sports in the same Paralympic Games.
Well, we've heard about athletes taking winter Paralympic medals and summer Paralympic medals. And then we've heard about athletes that have won in other sports in different Paralympics, but she's been able to do it in 2 different sports at the same Paralympics.
Yeah, Dylan Alcott, by the way, won the wheelchair tennis here, having won the wheelchair basketball 8 years ago. Great support for Brazil, for Veronica Hipólito. 103.14 with the bronze medal here to go with a 100 silver for the 3-time Pan Am champion from Toronto. Chen Zhenfei, the Asian Games champion, with a silver medal here. She'd finished 4th in the 100 meters final, where Cox had got the bronze. And then the following day, went to the velodrome. The first British Paralympian to win medals in different sports of the same games since 1988. That was a bronze in the 100 meters and a gold in the cycling time trial, and now it's gold in the 400 meters. It's a remarkable, fantastic, ridiculous achievement. She had to twist a lot of arms to get entered into both sports. She felt she was good enough to do this. And you know what? She is Paralympic champion over 400 meters. Magnificent Kadina Cox. It's magnificent history. Isabel Barr was the last, for Britain at least, to win medals in 2 different sports at the same Paralympics in 1988. That was in Seoul. It was the last one not to be televised in any real way, shape or form. Alexander Svechnikov, the champion in the men's javelin, with a Paralympic record 65-69.
So the Paralympic record, 65-69. It was Sajad Ikparas from Iran who just steadily worked up the field into second place. And Dimitrijevic from Serbia, the bronze medalist. What was a real scrap for the bronze medal in the end. Only a metre covering third down to fifth and sixth. And there's our winner. Extraordinary performance in the women's long jump. Wen from China just kept lifting that bar. And it was gold to China, silver Germany, bronze Australia. And we confirm that result, 5 meters 14. Jot that down as the world record. Leibart's had a terrific Paralympic Games, 4:42. Elkington Jones a bronze, 4 meters 30.
Well, as usual, some magnificent. Four world records in that women's long jump there. Kadina Cox with golds in cycling and athletics at the same Paralympic Games. Zhou emerging with the gold of the women's 100 meters T35. And we're not done yet this morning. Action in the men's 100 meters T12.
So we have 3 in this field, and we have in this 100 meter T12 first round. The first goes through, and then the next best will advance. And this is the lineup in the first of them. Cuba with Sevon Pineda. (27 years of age). Competed in the long jump here, incidentally, but he is the world champion in the 100 and the 200 in this classification. Also Para-Pan American champion. Hard to beat. And with the mountain to climb against the world champion is Tobias Jonsson, the 20-year-old from Sweden. 6th in the long jump. Didn't compete in the 100 meters in London and Azerbaijan with Elmir Jabrailov. Jabrailov is 24. Has a personal best of 11:39. Both Jonsson and Jabrailov with similar lifetime bests. But this should be a walk in the park for Sevon Pineda. So the field of 3 in the first heat underway, and Sevon Pineda on the inside began very well, and look at him go so smooth. He'll take the heat comprehensively as we thought he would. The time will be interesting, 10:89, and that is a really good pipe opener. It's not that far outside the Paralympic record in the overall scheme of things. Jabrailov has finished in second position and Jonsson in third. 11:27 and 11:57 respectively, personal best, season's best respectively, but too good there, the Cuban, and that was comprehensive. Paralympic record is 10:75. That was set in Athens 12 years ago by Adat Soji of Nigeria. That time 10:75, and Sevon Pineda in the finals going to give that a push.
Did well really, Sevon Pineda, unchallenged for Cuba. Shot away, good margin of victory. Only the winner guaranteed to progress in this T12 category. None of them going with guides, you'll notice. It is optional. Well, over the 100 meters, confident enough that they had the necessary top speed to go in the straight line. Sevon Pineda, 10:89, a very solid, simple qualifier through to the final. This could be wide open. It's 11.27 for Zabrailov, who was just about 0.3 of a second in the end. Selena Savan-Pineda with the victory, 10.89. Zabrailov second for Azerbaijan, 11.27, and Tobias Jonsson in third, 11.57. So a comfortable victory for the reigning world champion over 100 and 200 meters. And we continue with Heat 2. Mansa Aberdasharov of Uzbekistan, Thomas Ulbricht of Germany, and Chen Mingyu of China are going in this. Abdurashidov, bronze in the 4x1 here, silver at the World Championships in the same event. Chen silver in that relay here yesterday. The Asian Games long jump champion, finished fourth in the long jump here. And in between Thomas Ulbricht, European level, a very, very solid sprinter. And just the winner guaranteed to progress. So Mansa Abdirashidov, bronze in the 4x1 here, silver in the same relay in the Worlds, and was 10th in the 100 meters in Doha last year. Thomas Ulbricht's already finished 10th in the long jump here, but in European Championships recently, silver in the 200 this year, gold in the 4 in Swansea. And Chen Mingyu of China, silver in the 4x1. He's the reigning Asian Games long jump champion, and he's from Beijing. Good standard set by the reigning world champion in the opening heat of 10.89. And it's only the sole fastest loser across these three heats that will go through to the final. At the moment, it's Elmar Jabrailov of Azerbaijan, 11.27. Abdirashidov 3, Ulbricht 5, Chen in 7. And that's a false start from Abdirashidov, clearly, and he knows it. It's a long way from Uzbekistan, but he went off in advance. He has at least won a bronze already here. Go with his World Championship silver from 11 months ago. He knows what's coming, but he'll stay to accept his fate. Red card. Well, he knew it. I think we all did. Still going in the 200 meters. But his 100 meters is over. So just the two in it then. It's Ulbricht and Chen. And again, skipping guides for this. Ulbricht, silver in the 400 meters in Lyon at the World Championships in 2013. Former pentathlon world champion in 06, Chen Mingyu, the Asian long jump champion, started very well. Ulbricht trying to reel him in. And Ulbricht, oh, that's really tight. Chen might just have shaded that, but if he did, it was by a minute margin. 11.40, the winning time. That's a photo finish if ever there was one. Ulbricht's been given it 11.40 and Chen 11.42. Dipped just in time. Looked like he wasn't going to make it. He and Chen side by side for the entirety of that. But Ulbricht just did enough to get through. A fourth in the 200 meters in the World Championships in Doha. A fourth in the 100s in 2014. A significant lead for Chen at that stage, but Ulbricht caught up in him. And even on that replay, it just looks really tight. But Ulbricht had spread enough of the body over, and Chen dipped his head, had to dip the torso. That's obviously what counts first. Chen off to a very, very good start, but Ulbrich never really let him go away. And Chen, even though he still had a solid lead with 30 to go, Ulbrich reeled him in and got his tactics absolutely right.
Well, the photo finish never lies, but it looked closer than that to my eye. Look at it was the way he dipped his head, Chen. I'm surprised they've finished on the different time there, 11:40, 11:42. But it was a photo finish, but Ulbrich getting the bob ahead of Chen, but terrific performance.
We'll be referencing a dead heat in a few minutes' time, and for all intents and purposes, that's how it originally looked to me with the naked eye, but we've still got one more race to go.
This is heat number 3, and we have Jonathan Ntutu from South Africa in 1, Biondi Masasi in 3. We have Geronimo da Silva from Brazil in 5, Martinez Valles in 7. And this is the Brazilian athlete in Geronimo da Silva, 23 years of age, and the gold medalist in that relay set the stadium alight. He has performed well with the Brazilian relay team, including a win in that Pan American Games in Toronto. But individually in the 100 metres finished just outside the top 10 at the World Championships. So at this point, it's Savon Pineda who'll be the man to beat, 10:89. And Jabrailov, who came out of that heat from Azerbaijan, 11:27. And it's Ulbrich from Germany with 11:40. The crowd just realizing that they have a local hero on the track. That's Biondi Masasa on screen from Suriname. Small team from that country, 25 years of age. Masasi, 12th in the long jump here. Competed in the 100 metres in London, finished 14th in the group, finished 13th in Beijing before that. Great to have him here. Had a knee injury for the big part of this year in 2016, and that really stopped him from training for about 6 months, so it's a big effort for him to make the starting line here. And Ntutu from South Africa has a personal best under 11 seconds. Hasn't run near that this season, but is the reigning bronze medalist from the London Paralympic Games. So, great show of respect there between Geronimo da Silva and Martinez Valles of Mexico. As they're just getting organised down there. We're actually not near scheduled time. We're about 2.5 minutes before that. So the starters being corralled over there. And to my reckoning, bar for some shot put action, will be the last events in the stadium for this session, with some victory ceremonies to come. We also have some further 100-metre heats in the T42 category to follow, as Diogo Geronimo da Silva says, come on, you can do better than that. So now the official introductions. Jonathan Ntutu from South Africa, 30 years of age. competing in the 100 and the 200 here, reigning bronze medalist from London. He's finished 5th in Beijing, and also silver medalist in the 200 at the World Championships. Here is Biondi Masasi from Suriname. Great job to be here after being sidelined with injury. Here is Diogo Geronimo da Silva, 23 years of age, gold medalist in the relay. And Jesus Martinez Valles from Mexico in lane number 7. So a field of 4. So the first goes through automatically, and then it's the next fastest. Tutu, Masasi, Geronimo da Silva and Martinez Valles. This is heat 3, men's 100 meters T12 classification. And the crowd is hushed. Ready. Away. No, we're not. Oh, no. Is it the Brazilian? I think it might be. Geronimo da Silva, a rush of blood. And he knows. He knows. It's just yes. Oh, it was clear. So it's unfortunately disqualification for Diogo Geronimo da Silva. The official will walk over and confirm that with the red and black board. Unfortunately, he has to walk off the track. It doesn't matter if you come all the way from Uzbekistan or if you're a local, it still hurts. So now we're down to 3. This really does now open the door for Jonathan Natutu. So ready again. Set and away, and Tutu on the inside began very quickly out wide. Martinez Velez is trying hard, and also Masasi is running well in the center. It's all in Tutu, though. Time will be interesting, so we can compare it. 11:11. 11:11. So he will go through automatically anyway. It'll be the second fastest of the heats out of the 3, but it is the 30-year-old South African who looked comfortable using that inside lane. Will also be competing in the 200 meters here. That time has been rounded down to 11:10, and it's the bronze medalist from London has started his campaign here in the 100 meters in fine style, and you get the impression there might be just a little bit of petrol left as well.
Yeah, and Tutu did very well, actually. He's won medals in the last 4 global championships. Broke away very, very nicely. He missed the 100 meters final in Doha last year. The World Championships had won silver in the 200 meters. I was very comfortable, really. Helped, I think, by the disqualification of Geronimo da Silva, the 4x100 meters relay gold medalist. Away on the blocks very, very strongly. Martinez Valles and Masasi pretty much for 40 left in the battle for second place. No trouble for the man from Cape Town at all. It's a good, solid time. Arguably still has a little left. A season's best of 11.11. All-time 10.99. Now from a Brazilian point of view, whoops Geronimo. In Tutu, good rhythm. Automatically through to the decider, faster than Ulbricht in the previous heat.
And it'll be Thomas Ulbricht who will be the next fastest, narrowly ahead of Chen Mingyu from China. So the final will be Savon Pineda and Tutu, Zabralyalov and Ulbricht. And confirming in heat number 3, it was in Tutu 11:10 from Martinez Valles, 11:48, and Masasi from Suriname 11:56. And as a result, on the way to the final, there is the lineup. Pineda in 2-2. Jabrelyov and Albrecht. Pineda goes in as favourite. And shortly a victory ceremony. This is for the F13 men's javelin. F13 men's javelin. And in this competition, it was a gold medal to Uzbekistan with a Paralympic record thrown in for good measure, but it was the second round that won it for Alexander Svechnikov with 65-69, obliterating the Paralympic record and nudging ever so closer to the world record. He had a few more attempts, but it wasn't to be. 65-69, and F13 classification Paralympic record from Sajad Nikparast from Iran, the 29-year-old in silver, and it was Nemanja Dimitrijevic from Serbia, the 24-year-old, in the bronze medal position with a personal best, lifetime best throw of 60.86, 0.6 further than he's ever thrown in his life. Ratko Kovacic assisting Mr. Renato Ciccini, who's presenting the medals. Dimitrijevic, the Serbian, Nemanja Dimitrijevic. His third attempt was what won him the silverware, 60.86. Dimitrijevic, only event here, and he was also the bronze medalist at the World Championship, so it's gone to form. This was the reigning silver medalist from London. Does it again, Sajad Nikparast from Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran. And this man, Alexander Svechnikov, competing in two events here in Rio, the javelin and also the relay. He got a bronze in the relay, and now a gold medalist. 18 years of age, first major international competition, and has made a statement with a brilliant gold medal display. He's pulled one out of the fire at 65 meters 69. And another star, another young star that we've seen at this morning session of day 7 of competition. And now it is the national anthem of Uzbekistan. So on a day where the youngsters are shining, it is Alexander Svechnikov, the gold medalist. So 2 Paralympic medals to take home for him. And you get the impression he'll be able to add to that in the years to come. Gold Uzbekistan, silver Iran, bronze Serbia, the victory ceremony from the men's javelin throw, the F13 final. Now the women's shot put final, F12 classification. And this is Rebecca Valenzuela Alvarez, first attempt 12.81. But could she throw even better in the blazing sun here? And yes, she can. Look at that. Over the Paralympic record marker. And that put her in the bronze medal position with a throw of 13 meters 0.5. In her classification, this is Sofia Burkanova. 14.87 was a world record mark. Could she throw even better? Could she, a few rounds later, go even higher? And she could. Look at that. A terrific throw. It was 15 meters 0.5, a world record for the F12 classification. Of course, this field also contained athletes in the F11 classification. Here is Assunta Lignante, the defending champion. 4th in the discus, winner of the shot put in London. And that got some decent distance as well and took the gold medal with that mark of 15.74, a season's best. Her 17.32 is the world record. It wasn't to be today, but still enough for a gold. And glory again. Gold to Italy, silver Uzbekistan, and bronze to Mexico in the F12 classified women's shot put. And the emotion pouring out. All the hard work worth it for Assunta Lignante. 15.74, a world record thrown in the F12 classification as well. But overall, it was Italy with the success.
Astonishing women's long jump T37 competition. Standard fantastically high from our eventual champion. Bronze going to Australia and the Commonwealth Games champion Jodie Elkington-Jones. A no jump in the first round and indeed in the third. This very important therefore for her in round 2. Decent leap as well from her going out. Beyond 4 meters. 4.30. She wouldn't improve on that, came very close in the final round. Bronze for Australia and silver for Germany. This is Franziska Liebhardt, who had won gold in the shot put here. Won 2 silvers. The athlete from Berlin, now based with the Bayer Leverkusen club at the World Championships in Doha last year. It's actually her very first attempt of the competition, which put her in a prime spot. Kept her on the podium all the way through. 4 meters 42. And that, a new Paralympic record. Lasted about 2 minutes, beaten by a 4.92 by when Zhou Yan, that equaled her world record, which she had shared with Lisa McIntosh. Then beat that in round 2, 4.97. Beat that again in round 3, 5.07. This is a 4th round attempt. And here we go again beyond 5 meters. 5 meters 14. Another new world record. Previous Paralympic record was 4 meters 40. 74 centimeters beyond that. Wen Zhaoyan taking the gold for China in her first major championships. She's 18 years old. So Wen Zhaoyan takes the honours with that 5 meters 14 effort. Franziska Liebhardt, the silver for Germany, and Jodie Elkington-Jones, the bronze for Australia. So now the men's 100 meters T42. It's the opening round, 2 heats in this, the first 3 to qualify for the final. All the major champions are here, including the world record holder and the reigning Paralympic champion. Heinrich Popov still winning major honours, gold in the 4x1 relay here. But the reigning Paralympic champion from London 2012. Desmond Jackson of the United States. Here's Heinrich Popov, gold in 2012 in London in this, and a shared gold, a dead heat with Scott Reardon and Lyon in the World Championships the following year. Shaquille Vance of the United States, Daniel Wagner Jorgensen of Germany, gold in the long jump at the Europeans. And bronze in the 1 in Grosseto. David Henson of Great Britain, bronze in the 200 meters. Yoda Pedeghi of Sri Lanka, the Asian Games 200 meters champion. Carlos Felipe of Peru, 4th in the 100 meters at the Pan Ams. Shaquille Vance alongside Popov here. Sandwiched between Wagner and Popov, actually, 4th in the 400 meters, and he is the reigning Pan Am champion. So Jackson in 2, Popov 3, Vance, Wagner, Henson, Yoda, Felipe. Top 3 to go through to the final. So away they go, good start by Popov. Excellent running straight away from Yoda Pedeghi of Sri Lanka. Now it's Popov moving his way through. Wagner coming up in 2nd, and Yoda Pedeghi uses the force in 3rd. It's Jackson in 4th for the United States. 12:46, very good start to this competition for the reigning Paralympic champion and the world record holder. Heinrich Popov broke that world record in Leverkusen, his home club, back in 2013. But Popov comfortable in 12:45. Daniel Wagner in 2nd. It's a good run for him, 12:47. It's a season's best for Popov as well. And Yoda Pedeghi also through. Jackson's going to have to hold on. Missed the World Championships in Doha through injury, unfortunately. Had a Vance slipping on the line, and he wasn't going to recover from that. The Pan Am champion. Popov was well ahead of him at this stage. Wagner coming up well alongside him, it must be said. And Yoda Pedeghi was quite decent throughout. Jackson in 4th.
Well, it shows you how much it can be an optical illusion that Popov has won there, but only by 0.02, which was the same margin that Albrecht beat, or Chen beat Albrecht earlier on. Well, we thought that Chen had beaten Albrecht, but it was the other way around. So there you have it. Photo finish that Popov has been able to win out wide on the track. It was a blazing start from the Sri Lankan, but then it was Wagner really starting to gain momentum. And the longer the race went, the closer he got to Popov. But look at that, the exertion on the face of Popov, just gaining the day.
But if you look, turned his shoulder on the line, and that's what happened in that dead heat with Scotty Reardon in the 2013 World Championship final. Popov wins 12:45. Wagner's 2nd for Denmark, 12:47, and Yoda Pedeghi 3rd for Sri Lanka. They're all through. What a wretched start by Vanster.
Second heat. And we see the reigning silver medalist from the Paralympic Games in London, Scott Reardon, in lane number 4. Regis Woods, who was third in the long jump at the World Championships, in lane number 5. And also in this heat is Atsushi Yamamoto, the 34-year-old from Japan, who was a part of that bronze medal-winning 4x100 meter relay team, and also has the silver medal from the long jump in Beijing, so you can make that 2 Paralympic medals for the Japanese athlete. On screen is Richard Whitehead from Great Britain, who's in the outside lane, 12:13, which he ran this season, and already a winner of the 200 meters in this classification here in Rio, and he defended his title, that Paralympic title that he won 4 years ago. He's also the world champion in the 200 meters. In fact, he's been the world champion 3 years in a row at the 200. This is a different story, though. It's the 100. So interesting field here in the second heat. First 3 go through. The next 2 fastest advance to the next round. Some last-minute intake of H2O for Scott Reardon. Richard Whitehead looking like a focused man. So all is in readiness. The first heat clocked in 12:45 by Heinrich Popov, narrowly ahead of Daniel Wagner. Just a slight zephyr of breeze across the track as we focus down on Reardon. Yamamoto to his right, Regis Woods to his left. The 34-year-old, now 35 years of age, Regis Woods. Lanes 2 through to 8 being used here. That's the 34-year-old from Japan, Atsushi Yamamoto. Scott Reardon, reigning silver medalist in this discipline, the 100 meters, T42 classification. There's Leon Schaefer from Germany. And we have Ntando Malangu from South Africa, who is 14 years of age, in lane number 7. There he is, middle of the screen. So, Barana Gadara, Yamamoto, Reardon, Woods, Schaefer, Malangu and Whitehead. This is second heat of the men's 100 T42. The crowd called to be silent. Away, Reardon on the outside, away fairly. And also Whitehead began only fairly. Reardon now accelerates, and that's better. Puts pay to them. Flashing home on the outside was Whitehead. Reardon beats Whitehead in a new Paralympic record, 12:26. But really accelerated and pulled away from the opposition. Scott Reardon, the 26-year-old, Paralympic record, and throws it down. It's going to be a mighty final. But Scott Reardon, silver medalist 4 years ago, he wants to go one better. He looks like a man on a mission to me. 12:38 for Richard Whitehead, automatically goes through. And what about the 14-year-old Malangu's run 12:70, and he will go through. That's terrific news. Great performance, 14 years of age. And you can see here he was last in the picture, so he must have absolutely stormed through late. What about, yes, second and third, both really accelerating, but it was Reardon successful here in Heat 2.
You get that in the T42, though. Whitehead did that in the 200 very famously in London 2012. Generally, Athletes in that position will be very slow out of the blocks, but Raiden, very good rhythm from the reigning world champion. He's won the last 2 world golds. Well into his stride. He knew Whitehead would be coming up behind him, a little bit of easing up in the line, and Whitehead coming through in 12:38. Melongu, that was exceptional for the 14-year-old with the African record, but Raiden, whose other half, Vanessa Lowe, took that magnificent long jump gold. Looks in really good form. Popov, Raiden, Whitehead, all ready to joust in the 100 meters final, and all really looking in top form. That's what you want on this very fast track. Raiden still has a lot to give. Raiden takes a Paralympic record, 12.26. Richard Whitehead second, 12.38. And Ntandu Melonga third, 12.70. Abara Kadara and Yamamoto also making their way through. Just look at those times and look at those names. And the final looks like it's going to be a magnificently swift prospect. And Kadina Cox with those dual golds in cycling and athletics. Britain's first dual medalist across 2 sports since 1988. But the first time since 1984 that Great Britain has been able to have gold medals in more than 1 sport at the same games. And it was Isabel Newstead, formerly Isabel Barr, who achieved that 1984 in the swimming and the shooting. And in 1988, she had gold in the track and field and the shooting. And actually in 84, she won medals in the swimming, the shooting, and the athletics. Something else to be achieved.
Victory ceremony for the women's long jump T37 category. Another excellent competition over on the back straight side of the stadium. And it was a gold medal here to China, Wen Zhaoyang, and a world record as well. Her 4th attempt at 5 meters 14. She'd already held the world record set in Beijing this year. Miss Ann Cody, IPC governing board member, is presenting the medals, and to be accompanied by Mr. Bulk, the Paralympic order recipient. '23-year-old bronze medalist Jodie Elkington-Jones also going to compete in the relay here, just outside the medals in the relay in London. So their first taste of a medal. Born in Wodonga, which is just on the border of Victoria and New South Wales. Wodonga on the Victorian side, Albury on the New South Wales side. That's a satisfying result. Took a 6-month break after competing in London, was a little bit disillusioned, but has come back in fine form. Another medal for this lady, Francesca Leipart, after taking the gold in the shot put. And now the women's long jump silver medalist, the 34-year-old. Her first Paralympic Games franks the form after finishing runner-up in both the long jump and shot put in Doha last year. Another gold medal for China. Plus a world record. 5:14 now in the history books in the T37 classification. The mark before this was 4:92. So it's been a marked improvement by the 18-year-old, and who knows how far she can go. The gold medalist here in the long jump, silver medalist in the women's 400 metres, her first major international. So they've come from the clouds, the Chinese here. And once again, the national anthem for China. The victory ceremony for the women's long jump T37 classification. It was China, a spectacular gold for Wen Zhou. Germany with the silver, Australia with the bronze.
Yes, new horizons. Just when you think you've seen everything in the Paralympics, then we get something truly sensational like that. We seem to be saying that just about every session. First athlete to go beyond 5 meters in that long jump competition. And the first 4 attempts, remember, were all world records.
Another victory ceremony coming up. This is the F12 classification women's shot put, where it was Italy again here. Coming into this final, the Italian Assunta Lignante was the favourite, the 38-year-old. Finished 4th in the discus, but the defending Paralympic champion also holds the world record at 17 meters 32. It wasn't to be here, but she's thrown the best she has recently, 15.74. And the lady from Uzbekistan, Sofia Burkanova, a world record for her classification, the F12 classification, Assunta Lignante in the F11 classification. But the medals presented on the overall mark, and it was Lignante from Italy with the success. Once again, Miss Ann Cody is officiating, and Mr. Bob Bulk assisting. Now from Mexico, Rebecca Valenzuela Alvarez. 13.05 was her throw, which is 34 centimeters further than anything she's ever thrown. The kiss of the bronze medal. A job well done for the young Mexican. And plenty of shot put left in her at 24 years of age. did what she was required to do and even bigger with the world record of 15:05. Wasn't enough for the gold. In a normal circumstance it would be, but she was beaten by a superstar. But a satisfying result. Silver medal, world record. It doesn't get much better. And an amazing achievement again by Assunta Lignante, an F11 classified athlete, but was able to throw further than the F12 classification. She holds the world record of 17:32, and that will be a record that'll stand for a long time. The season's best here, though. More Paralympic glory. And the defending world champion from the last 2 world championships as well. This is her event. Assunta Lignante. And now it is the national anthem of Italy, as Assunta Lignante waves to the crowd, "Mille grazie."
A fist-pumping moment for Assunta Lignante. She picks up another major championship title in the women's shot put. The reigning Paralympic champion has done it again. She's won the last 4 major championship titles. Born in Naples, but now based in Turin. 4th global crown in a row. Bukanova, the silver for Uzbekistan, and Valenzuela, the bronze for Mexico. So now the men's shot put F53. This one of the seated throwing competitions. Large field in this of 10 in total, and it included Alfonso Cunningham, who's won discus and javelin gold medals in the past. But in third place, Azadullah Azimi of Iran, who previously has been a fifth place finisher in the discus in Lille of the World Championships in 2002 and 2004 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Athens. He's back, and a bronze medal for him. For the United States, Scott Seven. Twice he's won silvers in the last two World Championships in Lyon and Doha, and a repeat act here. Good one, very close to that world record mark. 8:72 from Mauro Maximo de Jesus in Beijing 2008. Sent this one out to 8 minutes 41. It was in the last round. His position in second place would have been safe anyway, thanks to an 8:37 earlier on. So Seven with the silver for the United States. But the man they all had to beat, the reigning world champion, Che John Fernandez of Greece. Born in Zimbabwe. Took the world title in Doha, had a bronze in Lyon, and now a gold here. Even closer to the world record without going through it. 8:44, a new European record for the former rugby player. The man who has previously been a flag bearer at the opening ceremony in Beijing. Che John Fernandez, world champion, Paralympic champion now too, 8:44.7, the silver for the United States, 8:41, and Azimi, the bronze for Iran, 8 meters 14.
Men's javelin F13 final. And let's take in some highlights of this event. Around about 34 degrees trackside for this competition, the men's javelin. And on screen is Nemanja Dimitrijevic from Serbia, 24 years of age. Now, his third throw. His personal best previously, 60.15, and sends this on its way, and that's going to be better. A personal best in the F13 classification of 60.86 meters. And that is enough to put him in the bronze medal position. Nemanja Dimitrijevic. Lovely technique as the javelin cements itself into the turf, holding second position in the overall standings after that third attempt, and then after that attempts 52.23, 53.74, 57.94, in the end bronze. Working steadily up the list was Sajjad Nikparas, the 29-year-old from the Islamic Republic of Iran. This was his last attempt to try and lift himself from third into the silver medal place, and as you can see, that's further, and he did it 62.74, a season's best, usurped the Serbian to go into silver medal position. And glory for the 29-year-old. Not quite a personal best, but it was enough for a Paralympic silver medal. A great result. He was the silver medalist in London as well. And then came the fresh-faced 18-year-old Alexander Zvechnikov. This was his second attempt after throwing 61.08. Lets out a big bellow, and look at that. It's almost to the world record mark. It was out of the box. 65.69. Makes a good thing of the gold medal very early on in proceedings. But he left nothing behind there. A Paralympic record, almost a world record, as you saw. The coach can't believe it. Absolutely delighted. 65.69, followed that up with a 60.84, a 58.66, a 57.55, and a 59.09, but it didn't matter. It's in the book. 65.69, a Paralympic record. It's a gold medal to Uzbekistan, silver to Iran, and a bronze to Serbia. F13 men's javelin.
Great champions all, be it Wen Zhao with those 4 world records in the women's long jump, Xiao Zhan, a big debut winning the women's 100 metres, or Kadina Cox, the first British athlete to win golds in different sports at the same Paralympic Games since 1984. The excitement continues later.